Right. And would be nine with Mars in Mercury. So when we are talking about this in the business opportunity, unless we look at the business in the B1 and compare whether planet goes into the business charts, it's not really good match for us. Because on its own, it can deliver a lot, for sure. But it happens when you see how that transition goes with the B1 into what you say the business chart that you actually have. I was having a great fight in the fourth house, and we were coming up from Australia and there. So, having retrograde in 20 in the fourth house. Now, I did so I personally would say that when we're talking about science, we could focus on science, but some of us follow the property system, some of us follow the area, some of us follow science. We try to focus more and more into understanding the chakra process of plants in any business. That will tell you a lot more. Okay? So for example, if you're telling me that you have a happened. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a beautiful Wednesday. And today we to Saturn and the fourth house. We have 38 Saturn in the fourth house. So what happens with Saturn in the fourth house in your chart? What is fourth house first of all? Fourth house is a house of land, your homeland, your home, your house, your actual house structure. It's house of your mother's education. Education is services for your mother, that means mother's nourishment. It is also known as the house of education, yet not the graduate education that you graduate from high school. It's more like middle school education. Where second house becomes your early childhood education when you're in kindergarten, first grade, second grade. So this house becomes very important now. Fourth house is obviously the house of your community, meaning that when you have cars or when you have a nice space in the air conditioner, anywhere you go where you have community in your life, and how is your home life in terms of community and happiness. Both have the house of the people of mind. Because hey, home is your heart. Wherever you're at home, you're at peace. So when you look at these things, then you bring it back into play. Having what? Discipline, order, delay, restriction, boundaries. Okay? It's just about showing you reality of things. So this is what happens when Saturn comes in the fourth house. Saturn, especially the fourth house represents a mother, he gets a very disciplined mother. Mother is going to be very disciplined with them. Now, if your mind is not in coherence with the fourth house situations, the fourth house conditions, you know, but if your mind, but practically, that is what discipline into your home. He puts order into the home. Like, especially since he's in the house of mother and Saturn doesn't like moon, he just puts a lot of pressure on your mom because it's you, and your mom becomes disciplined because of this situation. So with you particularly, and besides your other siblings, if you have other siblings, with you particularly, mother will be very disciplined and will be very sharp. I don't want to use the term harsh. It's just she's going to be very much a disciplinarian. She's going to be like, you do this, this is how you do it. When you come in the house, you do this, then you do homework, then you do that. And then it just becomes a routine. And Saturn loves routine. So he makes it a little routine till your adult age, until you separate yourself from the mother. Okay, so till then, you start to put a lot of discipline there. And Saturn is a very simple. So what happens with Saturn here, even though Saturn may be in a good position, but when you come home, you feel like, okay, you have to transform yourself into like your good. You have to be somebody you're not. Even though you may have a big home, beautiful wife, mother, even there you just become the structure. But here's the thing you want to realize about Saturn. Even though Saturn is in the original house of Moon, he doesn't get along with, even though Moon doesn't share a peace with his house. Because Moon is known as a house called Gamer house, K-E-N-D-R-A, Gamer house. First, fourth, seventh, and tenth house are known as the Gamer house, the inner place in the Vedic astrological chart. These are the strongest houses in anybody's birth. These are the pillars of your home. You know, like if you were to build a home in a forest, you would need four pillars to put the roof on top. And if one pillar falls, the roof will fall. Okay? So here, Saturn, who represents structure, okay, who represents, he also represents actual construction of homes. So Saturn being the fourth house becomes very strong. Saturn puts the discipline as a pillar of the. So what he does here is that he will bring discipline in your life. He may give a bit of a distant relationship with your mother, but he's making you strong as a person who will value the value of home and the land and peace of mind. So don't think that that is different group just because we were whole time. So in the first 4, 7, and 10, Saturn is the part of children. And you know, if you want to look at other things, Saturn represents iron, coal, steel. Okay, so this person can be a builder. If Saturn is in a good thing, if Saturn is in his own sign like Capricorn and Aquarius or Cancer and Venus like Libra and Taurus, he can represent a builder, real people along with especially Mars and Earth. But what about itself in the book? He gives a bit of a couple of things because Cancer ascendant has Libra in both houses, which Saturn brings himself. But Saturn is a very abnormal planet for Libra or Cancer ascendant. Why? Because Saturn rules the eighth house of unpredictability, death and rebirth, unknown events, accidents. So here if Saturn is himself, although he will do good, although he will get a very balanced relationship with your mother, but he also can major ups and downs too. Because he's still a certain house that is not good for the design. So this is why it's very important to see when and why Saturn is itself and why he wants to do it with himself. So if Saturn is so Cancer ascendant, you may think the potential comes, oh, I'm going to get everything with me. Your community will be there. Your home will be there. But his stability of if you lose your home, get your home, get into an accident, if you lose your money, get your money, all of these things will be a part of that fact. Okay, so just remember that. Education-wise, Saturn is very beneficial. Here's why. Remember, it's a king house. The Saturn is doing very well in terms of education. Give a person a solid foundation to stand on in life. And especially if Saturn has the ability to whatever it takes to give you that strong foundation of education background, of discipline of the mother, discipline in home will make you a very professional person. Okay, these people can usually go into medical, being an attorney, or politics. Okay, so these are the three things that this Saturn does. But just remember that Excel Saturn will bring that up and down in that environment. So when Saturn is in the fourth house, again, what is the aspect? What house is the aspect? Yes, the aspect is 6, 10, and the ascendant. So where we go to the Saturn, the astrology is for the 3rd, 7th, and 10th of sunset. So here's how I'm looking at the 6th house of enemies, of diseases, okay, litigation, 10th house of career, authority, and your entire life being your power, the way your personality, the way you feel. Okay. So it kind of affects the 6th house of diseases and even represents a medical profession because Saturn is now aspecting the 6th house of medical profession and 10th house of career. So Saturn's influence is on these two houses, which usually takes a person into medicine. Okay. It takes a person into